What's poppin', everybody? This is Sabro24. If you guys follow my channel, you would know that I uploaded my gold symbol fight that I actually won against Palace Maven Spencer yesterday. And with that victory, sort of marks my, I guess, the end of my journey for the Battle Frontier in Emerald. Obviously, that was a clear goal from the start. You want to get all the gold symbols and beat the Battle Frontier. It's a great achievement, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's only a video game, but it's probably one of my biggest achievements, I would say. But it is sort of bittersweet because I almost lost my excuse now to keep playing Pokemon Emerald. And this is where I'm gonna go with this rant because this is where the real importance of a facility and a feature like the Battle Frontier comes in. Now, as you guys know, there hasn't really been, well, not even really, there has just not been a Battle Frontier since Pokemon Platinum slash Pokemon Heart Gold. And with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, they basically just copy pasted the Battle Frontier in Platinum, and I guess the game got an extra feature. Kudos to them, but I mean, it was still a copy paste in a way. But the point is, since that sort of era, 2009, 2010, they've never really brought back the Battle Frontier. They got like the Battle Mazan in the X and Y and ORAS games, which is like a battle tower, I guess. It's got the music, a sort of remix of the Battle Frontier, and I mean, it can be a sort of a cool little, I guess, battle tower replacement. But besides that, they never really brought it back. In Black and White, you got the trains, which is once again a way to bring the battle tower, but they never really brought back the Battle Frontier. And I understand why they don't do it. For one, Pokemon games, the modern Pokemon games, it's more of a multiplayer game. You just play the story, get it over with, and then people are just gonna play the meta game and do Wi-Fi or whatever. And the other reason is I'm pretty sure it actually takes a lot to develop a feature like the Battle Frontier. You got to keep in mind, back in the day, in Pokemon Emerald days and even the Pokemon Platinum days, we had a Pokedex through Gen 4, and for the facilities and all the different Pokemon that are the opponent's Pokemon, basically, they gotta develop all of those Pokemon. They gotta come up with the move sets. They gotta come up with the EVs in a way, and it can't just be one type of Pokemon, like one type of Garchomp, let's say. They're gonna have a couple of different Garchomp sets and different Garchomps that can show up in the Battle Frontier, basically. And that's just an example. So there's that. I mean, I don't know if there's any way that they procedurally generate them and they come out random or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they just handpick the moves and everything. You got that, and then there's also the extra development time, for the facilities themselves, the new rules, and all this jazz. And you guys know, if you follow me, what my thoughts are for modern Pokemon games. Their philosophy has drastically changed over the years. It's just basically a money machine. Just come out with a new game, a new era, new generation every 3 years, and then produced one game every year, whether it's a remake, a spin-off, whatever. And now it's actually more than that. And it just continues to make money. It's just easy way. Just make the game good enough so that people buy it. The Pokemon gameplay formula, it's so great that if you just make a good enough game, it's going to be successful. You don't need to go the extra mile. So that's why we haven't really got the Battle Frontier again. The second reason, and this is a really easy one, is that the Battle Frontier is indeed a feature kind of for hardcore players. They know that, okay, we're going to spend the time to develop this feature. It is going to be a hard feature gameplay wise, for the hardcore players. So not everybody is going to want to stick with it and just try and keep losing, keep trying to get the gold symbols and beat the facilities. So not everybody is going to play it. So should we really be focusing and spending the little time we have to develop the new Pokemon games on a Battle Frontier, or maybe make something that's going to be more inclusive? That's another way they could be thinking it. And then the other reason too, like if they would include it, and then I guess the less hardcore players do try it, and then they get pissed off, they keep losing, it might be even worse. They'll hate the feature. So that's another reason. And I guess a third reason, this one, okay, I'm kind of going to give it to the developers, give them a little bit of an excuse, is that To develop the Battle Frontier, the facilities, I mean, they did the one in Emerald, the original Battle Frontier, 7 facilities. Then they brought it back in Platinum, copy paste the Hard Gold, Soul Silver. The Battle Frontier remained sort of the original, I guess, facility. I guess in a way it did get creative and it got extra features from Ruby and Sapphire, Crystal, Ruby and Sapphire. In Emerald, you could do like multi, you could do double battles, you could do different features. Same for the Battle Tower, but they brought the battle tower back, and then the Battle Factory, which is just rental Pokemon. But then the other 3 facilities in Pokemon Platinum, they were original facilities. I mean, if they would keep bringing the Battle Frontier, they can't just do it every year and then just keep bringing back the same facilities. It would get kind of stale, perhaps. I mean, I wouldn't mind it as long as they get creative with, the Frontier Brains and maybe add a little bit of a lore story, whatever. But I will give it to them in that to come up with the facilities, they do need to think of new sort of gameplay mechanics and just brand new facilities with different gameplay rules. They can't just keep bringing back the same facilities from Emerald and Platinum. But I mean, it's been so long. If they just gave us any Battle Frontier, I don't think anybody would complain. Well, people like me anyway. So that's that. But honestly, there is stuff they can actually like implement. Like you had the rotation and the triple battles in Generation 5. They didn't really do anything with them. Now, I guess if that was a sort of facility for the rotation battles in the Battle Frontier, and you had to get a lot of streaks for that, it would have been pretty messed up. It would have been very difficult. Just a lot of luck with a battle style, a gameplay mechanic like that, having the rotation rules. But I mean, it is an idea. Triple battles is an idea. It could just be a facility that you gotta do double battles as a Frontier facility. I mean, double battles wasn't really a thing in the Battle Frontier. All of the facilities, you had to do singles really to get the symbols or the prints. So I think they really could be some ideas if they wanted to brought the facilities back. And I mean, even if they just did 4 facilities, it doesn't have to be like 5 or 7. I mean, I think minimum 5, it should be that minimum. But I mean, even if they did 4, like a Battle Frontier with 4 facilities, it would be something like just Battle Tower, the Battle Factory. I guess those are the stables, and then just 2 new facilities. But they're not gonna do that. And it really is sad and bittersweet, as I said in the beginning, because yeah, the biggest thing is you getting the gold symbols, beating the facilities, and accomplishing that goal that you set out to do. But it definitely is about like all of the memories I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have the memories of the Frontier Brains, beating them, all that jazz. But it just really is the journey. It gives you that reason, that excuse to keep playing the game, training up Pokemon. I trained so many different Pokemon that I didn't even use, but you train them and you think, okay, you know what? I might use them. I'm training them for a reason. I'm training them as ready Pokemon for the Battle Frontier. Because unlike just having one sort of final boss and that's about it, the Battle Frontier was a really grand thing, especially in Emerald. I mean, you step on the Battle Frontier the first time. I remember you hear that music, you know you're in for some heavy shit, some really grand shit. And back then, I thought to myself, man, you get the silver symbols, and then you find out on the internet, whatever, just how many more battles and streaks you got to complete to do like the gold symbols, and then you think, man, there's no way, it's impossible. How can you do this? But that was before I knew about EVs and IVs. Lo and behold, now I did get all the gold symbols, so it's definitely possible. Not easy, but possible. But I mean, in the beginning, especially when you're fresh, you know that, okay, this is gonna be some grand shit. It's not just a simple final boss. This is like a whole process that we gotta prepare for and train Pokemon and just prepare. And it really is all the memories of training Pokemon to level 100, mixed records with my different games, and then you battle the trainers in the secret bases with high level Pokemon, so I can just train my Pokemon at level 100 to use in like Battle Pyramid. That was a facility where I did use a few different Pokemon I mean, you've got your mains for most of the facilities, but it just gives you a reason, an excuse to keep playing. I mean, technically, you could just do this. You don't need to have a battle frontier to train up a bunch of different Pokemon. But I mean, it really just gives you that reason, that excuse. It's that grand goal, and you get replay value out of the game like that. Now that I beat the last Frontier Brain, Palace Maven Spencer, fucking prick, hate that facility. It's always going to be the second worst for me. But now that I got all the gold symbols, it's like there's not really much reason. I guess you can still play to get battle points and try and get all the big plush dolls. But I mean, that's about it. And then the other great thing about the Battle Frontier is just through it, I mean, you get extra characters. You get these extra boss characters, like special characters, kind of like gym leaders. And you know, okay, the only way I can play this special character with the special music is I gotta go through this facility. I gotta get those streaks. So, I mean, once again, I think it's just a huge thing, a huge incentive in Pokemon games. And it really sucks that we haven't gotten the Battle Frontier back since Hard Gold Soul Silver. And you also get the Starfberry as a special reward when you get all the gold symbols. I mean, it's not the worst reward, a super rare berry you can only get that way, at least in Emerald. But I mean, it's not the greatest reward either. I think a better reward would have been like you get a special object, or Scott acknowledges you and then gives you something that you can access an area with Jirachi or something. I think that would have been better. But once again, it would piss off a lot of the casuals that couldn't get the gold symbols, and they know they can't get that legendary. So maybe I guess a berry was a good reward. But I mean, like I've said, it was about the journey, getting to fight the Frontier Braids and beating them, and just beating a very difficult challenge. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but it really is for those players that try it and to get the gold symbols, even if you didn't get all of them, even if you got like 4 or 5. You know that really takes a lot out of you. It's a big challenge. You really need to know what you're doing, really know how to play. Just learn all the ins and outs. It's like playing chess in a way. You need skill, you need the right preparations, you got to use the right Pokemon. It is kind of a hardcore feature. And even if it's a game, it is definitely one of the biggest accomplishments I did in my life, just beating this super mega epic challenge. I think maybe if they get really desperate, maybe they'll bring him back sometime. Definitely not in these upcoming Pokemon games, Scarlet Violet, but I mean, I guess you never know. They're doing some different shit for these ones too. But if they get really desperate, they could bring it back, but it is kind of unlikely. I think a lot of people are sort of coming back to the Battle Frontier in Emerald. Just players that aren't really happy with modern Pokemon games. They left these sort of challenges unfinished, maybe when they were young, and they're kind of coming back. Once again, an excuse to play the game and just trying to finish it. Obviously, I know Tamahiro is trying to get the gold symbols in the Battle Frontier right now. And I think more people are showing interest and just trying to just meet the challenge and try to get them. I mean, my best Pokemon to use in the Battle Frontier video did get some decent views, at least for a channel of my size, and I get a lot of questions. I also recommend people watch my more generalized video for the Battle Frontier in Emerald, where it sort of walks you through the basics and how to approach each facility. I think that's really important too. And in general, how to approach the Battle Frontier. You can't just treat it like OU 6 versus 6 singles or something. It does have some similarities, but it's definitely not the same thing. And of course, there's all the special rules in the facilities too. I mean, damn. You know what the crazy thing is? The crazy thing is, despite all of my gripes with how modern Pokemon games are made right now, if they came out with latest new Pokemon games, they've got all of the shitty design choices that I don't like, whatever. If they came out and we knew there was a Battle Frontier, just alone for that, I would have been like, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna go through the story, and I got the Battle Frontier. Like, I can just meet this challenge, and I have something that I can actually do and work for in the game. That's how powerful the Battle Frontier as a feature is in Pokemon games, I think. Many hardcore players would feel the same. It's just gonna give you that replay value, give you that reason to play, just train Pokemon, and it's a competitive feature that it's a single player feature. It's not like Wi-Fi battling and you just associate with other people, whatever. That's fine too. I used to do competitive a lot back in the day, DP and the black and white era too. That was awesome. But like I've said, Battle Frontier is a different animal. It's competitive, but it's a different animal. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. I think the last video that I'm going to make regarding the Battle Frontier, well, I've got two videos in mind, but either I'm going to do like the top 5 or the top 10 worst facilities, like the most difficult ones from, I guess, yeah, the hardest ones to the not so hard ones. Or maybe I'll just make a video talking about the 2 worst, which, spoiler alert, actually no, I'm not going to say. I think if you're smart, you know what the 2 worst ones are. I mean, I already mentioned the Battle Palace, so that's a given, but give my second one out too. So these 2 Battle Frontier videos, and then I don't know what I'm going to do next. I mean, like I've said, I beat the Battle Frontier in Emerald. It was a great feeling 2 months ago. I still didn't get everything, didn't get all the gold prints in Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I'm doing the Frontier over there, not in Platinum. I got gold prints in Platinum too, but I just got more of my success in Hard Gold, my main game, I guess. I just need to get the Battle Factory gold for that, and then the Battle Arcade. The Battle Arcade, it's not really difficult. I think I can easily do it. I just haven't played it that much, but I think it's not going to be difficult. It's the Battle Factory that's going to be hell, and I guess I spoiled what the other facility is. But anyway, so I don't know what other Battle Frontier videos I'm going to do other than that. If you have any suggestions, you can ask. But that's about it. Emerald is done. I just need to do Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I've already made a video about the best Pokemon I recommend for the Battle Frontier in Emerald. And the general guide is definitely great on how to approach every facility. So I think that's going to do it for all of my help videos for the Battle Frontier. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends. Tell me what you guys think about the Battle Frontier. Do you care about it? Do you not want it back? Do you think it is a hardcore feature that's not needed? I mean, they made it in Emerald. I'm sure many people never touched it or just did the silver symbols too, which the silver symbols do is pretty easy, and it's still kind of a mini accomplishment for the more casual players. You do get a reward, you get the Lance the Berry. Like I've said, it's not difficult. I got the silver symbols in my first Emerald without even knowing about IVs and EVs back when I was like a kid. So that one's not difficult. It's getting the gold symbols that you really need to know what you're doing and just seriously train a bunch of specific Pokemon. But just tell me what you guys think, I guess. I want it back. Who knows if we're ever going to get it. So, Saber 94, thank you guys for watching. Wasai!